Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening. In today's episode, we'll be talking to my awesome nephew, Mr. Zachariah Prince. We'll be discussing his experiences as a football player, starting out at the age of 5 to him now entering his last year of high school, playing at the varsity level. The conversation starts now.
Welcome to the Hobson Hour, the podcast where we explore the stories that shape our lives. Each week, your host, Justin Hobson, will sit down with a special guest and talk about the only things that really matter: family, friends, education, and the arts. So sit back and enjoy the ride here on the Hobson Hour.
How's your day going?
Oh, it's going great, sir. How about you?
It's going pretty swell. I think right now we actually have better weather. We have better weather than you guys because I think California has a hurricane that's coming up the coast, and I think you might be getting residual effects from that.
No, it's true. It's pretty cloudy out here. Usually it's pretty sunny, a little hot, but it's not cool like 80 degrees. It's pretty humid. A little humid out here today.
It's pretty humid. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. I'm very excited to interview you today. And first, let me say thank you for letting me interview on such short notice. You are officially the youngest person that has been interviewed on this podcast. So you're already.
I'm feeling honored.
You're breaking records. I want to talk to you about your football experience because I think it's rather unique, especially within our family, because it shows characteristics that are pretty uncommon for someone to have at your age level, I feel. Let me actually, take these glasses off. Sorry, I get a lot of reflection there. I sent you some questions, and another one popped up as I was rereading them, and I was wondering if you could help me answer this because I think it's kind of crazy. What is your normal daily routine like when you are in season for football? What from getting up to going to school? Can you just give us an idea of what your day is like?
So it's actually pretty crazy. So I gotta wake up at 4:30 because I live in Awani, which is actually 55 minutes to get to the school, but I can get there in like 50 because I'm at Dom Shreddo. You feel me? But yeah, no, I gotta wake up at 4:30. I gotta leave here by like 4:50 so I can get there. We start practice at 6:30, but being a senior leader, I gotta be there early. I'm usually showing up at like 6:20, 6:25. Friggin' traffic's bad though, because there's some big rigs that be trying to drive on that back road. I'll get stuck behind them going 20, and then that's when it turns into like an hour drive, and that's when but then we got 6:30 a.m. practice. We got a lift, and then after the lift, I got school. And after school, we got practice from. We get out of school at 3:45, and then we got early outs, which is like warm ups and like QBs are throwing, receivers are getting their hands warm, and then practice starts at like pretty much at 4:30. That's when pads are smacking, we're getting at it, and then that's all. That's Monday, Tuesday, full pads, and then Wednesday. We have morning. We have morning practice. I think. This week I think we had morning practice. I don't know if it's going to be the same, but we had morning practice and just helmets, and then I think we have film. We have defensive film usually, and then offense has their film, and then after that we usually have a light lift, which is usually we do just deadlifts, power clean, just an explosive lift, and then Thursday we just have morning practice. We just wear our shells, get warmed up, get our technique.
What does that mean? What does that mean? Wear your shelves. What is that? You're just your basic.
It's just helmet and pads. No legs, nothing. And then
Okay.
we got these coyote packs that our coach bought us. So we're all out there looking. We're all looking like a team. We ain't out there in like
Yeah,
pajamas
yeah.
and stuff, looking out of tone. You feel me?
So I'm super curious. Do you? I'm sure you have a lot of friends that are non-football players. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
What do you ever tell them what your daily routine is, and what is their reaction to that?
I tell them they'll be like, I don't know how you do that, man. I'll be like, you're crazy for that. I'll be like, football just always been my game, man. And I was like, I love that way too much. I'll do anything for this game.
Now, and okay, so I want to hook into that because that brings me into my next question. For those of you that don't know, Zachariah Prince is my nephew, and I have been fortunate enough to see glimpses of his football career from beginning to now. Actually, I need to see a game this season, but I'm curious, what was the initial reason for you even wanting to get into football? Why football? Why not soccer? Why not basketball? Why not any other sport? What was it about football that drew your curiosity?
Well, the thing is, football wasn't my first sport.
Oh,
My first sport was soccer, and
that's
then it
right.
was baseball. And it
Uh-huh.
just, I don't know, it just felt like I could like because with soccer, I felt like I just wanted to like just truck people over. I
Yeah.
didn't want to get the ball. I just wanted to knock people out the way and stuff. And I was like, this definitely ain't my sport. I was getting fouls left and right, yellow cards. I was getting kicked out at 4 years old, man. I was like, come on.
Uh-huh.
And
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
baseball, I was good at baseball. I played baseball. I played baseball 8 years, but
Yeah, yeah,
football, shit. My dad's
yeah.
always watched football. You guys have
Mm-hmm.
always watched football. We've always watched football.
Uh-huh.
And then when I was like 4 years old, 5 years old, I really started like thinking. I was like, they're literally doing what I'm doing in soccer, but it's legal. I'm like, how am I not playing? I was like, I need to play this sport right now. I'm like, and
Yeah, yeah,
if I'm
yeah.
being
And,
honest, Ray Lewis, that boy Ray Lewis,
uh-huh.
he's the real reason I started playing because I was like, dang, this boy
Mm-hmm.
just out
Mm-hmm.
here smacking fools, and I'm like,
Yeah, 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 yeah.
I want to be like,
Now, I have to, since I have the honor of having known you for such a long time. I will say, when you were little, I remember you were the kind of kid that if he hit his head on something or just sustained a very painful injury, your reaction to it was always, eh,
yeah,
whereas maybe someone else would have been like, I mean, probably me, right? I would have been
yeah,
screaming my head off, but not you. You've always had a high tolerance for pain, and I think that's probably carried over to you being able to play football at a level
yeah,
that I think many other people can't. Um, and that kind of draws me into my next question too. So you've been playing, gosh, I mean, I don't even know what the first year, what you started playing, what, in 2011, 2012, somewhere around
I
there.
started playing when I was 5, so I was born 2006,
Uh-huh.
2011,
Yeah.
2011,
Yeah. 2011.
first year.
So in 2011, so I'm sure at 5 you weren't overly conscious of safety standards in football.
Nah,
Um,
nah,
you
nah.
just wanted to hit someone.
I was out there putting my head down, like.
Yes, spearing people all over the
Oh,
field.
I made a lot of kids' parents mad. That's all I'm trying to say. A lot of
Yeah,
kids.
yeah, 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 yeah. So I'm curious because now you are a senior in high school, playing at the top of your level, or the highest level that you've ever played at right now. What with the advent of CTE coming out and a big shift in the NFL in regards to safety standards being raised for individual football players. We heard a lot about that, or a lot of us fans heard and saw a lot about that at the NFL level, maybe a little bit at the collegiate level, but I honestly really have no clue as to what has happened at the high school level. I'm curious, has there been major changes that you've seen in your career of being a football player since CTE came about, or within the last 5 years? Have you seen a noticeable change towards safety standards being raised for football players?
Oh yeah, every year the refs are changing the rules, making a more safer game. Me personally, I'm not against it, but it kind of messes my game up because I set the tone by just hitting the dude, hitting the other opponent,
Right,
setting the tone, getting
right.
my team juiced up because they'll
Yeah.
see my team will see me smack somebody and they'll get like yeah, get them all hyped up and then they want to go smack somebody. You know what I'm saying?
Right,
So,
right.
but yeah, no, but they've been making it safer, like with all the blind sides. You can't
Mm-hmm.
even blind like if somebody's running the ball and they can't see you, you can't just come and just clean them no more. Like you have to safely wrap them up, take them down. Like they're changing the rules completely. Every year they're making it safer. Like this year's a lot safer.
What's a penalty that you would incur if, say, you did blindside somebody now versus maybe a couple of years ago? What was it before and what is it now, penalty wise?
Well, well, back when I was in like youth league,
Uh huh.
I could clean somebody up and it would just they'd be like the ref would be like nice hit, and then now
Hmm.
when my first ever high school game, I cleaned somebody up and they called me for targeting and kicked me out the game.
They said, "Welcome to high school."
Yeah, they're like, welcome to high school football. This is how we ref here. And I'm like,
Okay.
I was actually kind of sad about that too because I was going off. I had a strip fumble. I think I had
Yeah.
like 2 tackles for a loss, and then I was gonna have that incompletion, but they got
Yeah. Yeah.
they kicked me out like I think at the beginning of the second or really at the end of the first. Like I barely
Mm-hmm.
even played that game. It was,
Mm-hmm.
but yeah, I know the
Have
rules.
you what now? In speaking of injuries, what are some? And I know a lot of high schoolers, they play through injury throughout the whole season. I mean, I'm sure as your season started, I don't know if you feel tip top 100% healthy now, but have you been seeing? I'm actually just kind of curious as to what your injury load has been the last couple seasons, because I know you've managed to play through some pretty banged up injuries. So I'm kind of curious as to how you're doing this season so far, injury wise.
Oh, because see, I'm not really the biggest dude. I'm not no
Uh-huh.
6'2", 200 pounder. Like
Yeah.
I'm 5'6", 5'7".
Uh-huh.
I'm like I think I'm 175, 180. And then, so I'm always going to be injured. I know I'm always going
Yeah.
to be injured. I'm not going to be 100%. Like right now, I would say I'm like 80%, but I'm always going to play 100%. I know I'm going to be injured, so I can't think about being injured. I just got to think about being 100%. But
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
last year was crazy. I
Yeah.
like because I transferred over from Yosemite High School to Madera.
Yeah.
Then
Yeah.
I thought it was a clean transfer because my mom's a teacher at the school, and then
Right. Right.
they tried to sit me out for 5 weeks, saying it was an invalid transfer, and they sat me
Mm,
for 3 weeks, and I came back, played all those games, and I got injured the second to last week. We
mm-hmm.
were playing Edison actually. It
Uh-huh.
was a kickoff, and one of my dudes freaking like just tossed one of the Edison kids just right into my knee, freaking my two knee things freaking collided,
Yeah.
and then
Uh-huh.
both of my kneecaps were bruised like completely. Like it was,
Oh wow.
I was like I think they said something they're like, if your inch moved an inch or two more, you would have tore your ACL or MCL.
ACL. Yeah. Or MCL. Yeah. That that it blows my mind, and the fact that you're still playing through those injuries at this level. I'm curious. I'm not sure if you've seen the Netflix show. I think it's Quarterbacks. Have you heard of it?
I've heard of it, but I haven't watched it.
Yeah. So it follows Patrick Mahomes, Marcus Mariota, and the Vikings quarterback. What's the Vikings quarterback's name?
Kirk Cousins.
Kirk Cousins. And one thing that sticks out to me is what they do during the week in preparation for their next game in terms of recovery. I mean, dude, you got Kirk Cousins. He has a band that he straps around to his head, and he is monitoring his cognitive activity to try to sharpen his thinking. And then you've got Patrick Mahomes, who has his own set of massage therapists that come into his home, and they're working on all of the. Do you guys have anything at that level in high school to help you recover?
Well, our school they don't got enough money for all those like
You guys
technology,
don't have massage
all
therapists?
those special. Nah, we don't got all that massage therapist, all that
Yeah.
technology, mind thinking things. But no,
Yeah.
we do have a trainer at the school that she actually teaches kids. Like we have
Mm-hmm.
kids that are taking like medical classes, and they actually teach
Mm-hmm.
kids how to like massage out people, how to fix it, like how to fix the leg, like where's the injury at, how to fill out an injury, and
Mm-hmm.
because she's like our trainer, she actually was before she came here, she was at Fresno State being a trainer there, so
Oh,
she
nice.
knows what she's doing. So yeah,
Yeah.
she's always I think it's lunchtime and
Uh-huh.
zero period, like after zero period, because we have zero period, first period. So we have like 30 minutes where you can go in there and get stretched out, physical
Mm-hmm.
therapy. And then
Mm-hmm.
lunchtime, again, 30, 40 minutes. Like, there's always time you can go in there and get some stretched out, get rolled
Mm-hmm.
out, taped up. So
Would
yeah,
you say would you say in your opinion the like one of the number one things that you could do for injury prevention would be stretching? Or
oh,
is that the number one piece of advice you get from your the coaching staff on
no,
your team?
100%, 100%.
Yeah.
Because
Yeah. Yeah.
every time you get done running, like hitting,
Mhm.
lifting, anything like physical, your muscles
Mhm.
get tight, and you have to stretch them out. You can't let them get tight, or else you're gonna stay tight. And then
Mhm.
that's what causes injuries, where you get pulls, tears,
Mhm.
and
Mhm.
just stretching prevents injuries. 100%.
Yeah. Now, I'm curious. So, your initial reason for wanting to get into football was to kind of you always liked being able to lay on a hit on somebody
Yeah,
that played well. But
always.
football is also very much a strategic, logical, mental game as
So for
well.
sure.
Has your reasons or your motivations changed since you first entering into the sport? Is there more that you want from it now than you did when you first entered?
No, I've always had the same dream, same goal, man. I'm gonna be holding up that Lombardi Trophy one day. You feel me? I'm gonna be there. I'm gonna be there. But no, like back when I was back when I was little, I would just hit kids, and I never talked like even up to high school. I never really talked no trash. I didn't talk nothing, but I would
Yeah,
hear all these other kids talking trash, and then
yeah.
it wouldn't really get to me, but I'd be
Hmm.
like, this dude's really talking trash right now. I'm like, I get like psyched out, and I'll be like, all right, I see what he's doing. Like, and then
Yeah,
so I just started playing with that, like. And
yeah.
so now that's like my new gameplay. I don't really talk trash, but I try to get in the opponent's head. Like I just let them know I'm there. I let them know I'm there. I'm gonna stay there.
It's an interesting observation that you're talking about because I've noticed that with you growing up too. Now you were always you were smaller than your brother. Zach's got an older brother named Seth, and Seth has always been taller. And like any brothers, you guys have always kind of pounded on each other here and there. But there was a moment in time where your strength level surpassed. I mean, shit, I'm a 35-year-old man, and we were wrestling once. And I mean, at
Yeah.
14, you were choking me out, and I was like, this kid's different. And I mean, and most adults around you would say the same thing. Your strength level went to a whole another range. And I think some kids, teenagers that go through that, it could go one of two ways, right? You have all this other this untapped power, and you could choose to beat the shit out of someone. You can use it for you could use it in, I guess we could say, non-productive ways. But
Yeah.
I've always witnessed you in civilian life, non-athletic, non-sports arena.
Yeah.
You've always been very humble about your strength and your ability. I mean, there's been probably more than a few times where you could have used it to hurt somebody, and you haven't. Now, I'm curious as to is there something in your head when someone makes you mad and you know you could run over them? Is there something that goes through your head where you stop yourself, or is it a natural, innate thing where you just are like, no, it's not really an issue for you? Is it a conscious?
Yeah, it's kind of exactly that right there. Like it's just like it's not worth my time. It's not worth making me look dumb or
Right,
someone
right.
being dumb. You know what I'm saying? It's just
Mm-hmm,
if somebody wants to fight me, they can throw the first punch, and then
mm-hmm.
that's game on. Then that's not
Yeah, yeah,
that's
yeah,
self
yeah,
defense. Then it's game
yeah.
on. I'm
Right,
not
right,
gonna
right.
I'm not gonna start no fight. I'll talk my trash, but I'm
Mm-hmm.
not gonna I'm not gonna be throwing no threats out there unless somebody's throwing threats back. You know what I'm saying?
Do you think that that mentality has been influenced by your dreams? I mean, because you
Oh
obviously you have a standard, a dream that I think an average kid your age would probably jokingly say, "Oh, I'm going to go to the NFL and I'm going to hold up the Lombardi Trophy." Wink, wink. But
yeah,
to you, it's not. It's not that. It's like, no, I'm going to. That's going to happen.
straight
Do
up.
you feel do you feel that because your dreams are so big, it grounds you in those moments where people are trying to do stupid shit?
Oh, exactly. Like, and when
Mhm.
somebody tries to start something with me or says anything, I just think how are the colleges gonna look how I'm reacting to this? If I
Mhm.
if I react to this, how this guy's saying, how am I gonna react on the field when somebody says something to me? Like,
For sure.
I've always thought about it like that. I've
Mhm.
never been in a fight. I never want to be in a fight. I
Mhm.
don't like.
Mhm.
I'm a fighter. I'm not. I mean, I'm a lover, not a fighter.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
almost, I
Yeah.
almost got that wrong. I was almost
It's all good.
split me there.
But it's so curious because I remember the first game that I saw you in, even as a kid, because everyone knew you had that ability, but you never really showcased it at home or when you're messing around with your uncles or your brothers or whatnot. And then we get all of a sudden see at one of your games you laying a hit on someone, and then you popping up, and I mean everyone who's in the stands is kind of like, oh my god.
Yeah,
like,
it was,
like, oh,
yeah,
there he is.
yeah. It's like,
You know?
oh, that's okay, okay.
Oh yeah, he just knows when to turn the on and off switch. Oh,
Yeah, no,
okay,
I've always been like that. I was, like even with my own team, like I don't like I can't hit my own team full power because in reality I'm hurting myself. I'm hurting my team. My team is me. We're all one. If I hurt my team, I hurt myself. So I can never hit my team full hard. But when it comes to other people, I don't know. There's some like you said. There's a switch in there. I don't know. I just
what's
come downhill.
so I played football for one season, and I was it was like seventh grade or eighth grade, and I was 85 pounds. You needed to be 95 pounds in order to make weight to play, and my coach strapped duct taped a 5 pound weight to my stomach and a 5 pound weight to my back. I still
Yeah.
can't grow hair around my sides because every day I'm ripping that duct tape off, right? And dude, I remember I got laid out. I mean, there was someone who took my feet out underneath me once, and I did a full 360 up. I mean, it looked like a cartoon. It just looked ridiculous. I mean, I was just getting ping ponged around that goddamn field, like, and it was embarrassing, but one of the most fun experiences I had in my life.
Oh, exactly.
Um, I'm curious for someone that have you ever had a conversation with someone who you've laid a hit on and in a humorous way? Have they given you their take on the hit that you laid on them? Like,
Oh, it's not really a talk. It's not ever really a talk. I'll be like, yeah, what's up, boy? And they'll be like, and they got nothing to say. They'll be like, all right, good hit, good hit, good hit. And then they'll just run away. And it's never. I
there's
don't talk to my opponents. I only
that's
talk.
okay.
I only talk to the family. I don't start no extra drama. I
Yeah,
stay,
yeah, yeah,
I
yeah,
stay
yeah,
inside. There is this one guy though that I started getting
yeah,
a little beef with. Freaking,
yeah.
I just got done playing a freaking huge,
Uh,
huge
yeah,
game, huge
yeah,
game
yeah,
in
yeah.
our town. Freaking
Uh huh.
last year, Because remember how I told you I had to sit out for those 3 weeks?
Right.
That first week we played the brand new school built in Madera, Matilda Torres. They came into our town. They beat us. I had to sit on the sideline watching that. And then this year, it was a different story. All I'm gonna say. All I'm gonna say.
Yeah. Now I saw your mom posting clips of that. What I didn't see what the final score ended up being. Excuse me.
Oh, I think the final score was 28-27.
Wow! And you guys came out with you guys came out with a W.
Came out with it. It was actually a freaking. It was not looking good in the third quarter. I'm gonna say it was freaking. I think the score was literally 26. No, the score was 27. I think 14. It was
Oh wow! So
27
you guys went
14.
on a roll.
And our defense picked it up, stopped them out.
Mm-hmm.
Offense came back. Well, actually, after they scored that touchdown in the third quarter and got up two, our receiver, corner, he's all around friggin'
Yeah.
And he friggin' took that right back to the crib on a kick return. Took it all the way back, got his juice up, and it was crazy too because I'm on kick return. I'm on the kick return. I'm actually so it goes. We got a front line, and then we got like 20 yards back. We got me and my boy Blake, and then we got another guy right in like 5 yards back, Hollywood, and we just got a whole shield just going up. And I'm right there. And then I'm not gonna lie, I thought I sold him because I missed my block. I'm not gonna lie. I missed my block, and I was like, "Oh shoot!" And I turn around to go look, and I just see this boy whip past me, and I'm like, "You see me in the film? I like turn to do a whole turnaround. I'm just touchdown. I'm all happy and stuff. It was crazy, and that was a turnaround. That was the turnaround right there, because freaking our sideline was like, "Whose house? Our house." And we were down like I think 15, 6, like I think it was 14, 13 points. 13 points, I think. I was like, ain't no way our sideline's chanting this right now. We're down like this. I was like, nah. I was like, nah, I'm turning up.
Where does that rank in your games played in terms of just the hype and overall performance on a scale of 1 to 10? Where do you think that ranks? 1 being the highest.
That game right there. That was a championship game right there. I would give that a 9.5, 10. Then
9.5, 10. Oh, okay.
We didn't really play our best game. We were shook.
Right.
We were shook. We were scared of the environment. It was our first game. It was a rivalry game because we lost that game. Now we won. Now we need to get our trilogy. Sadly, I'm not gonna be able to play that trilogy, but I'm gonna be there for that game. I'm gonna be watching that.
Well, I'm curious because you have always, for the most part, and correct me if I'm wrong, have been a defensive player. I feel like in the last couple seasons, if not just this season, you have started taking more of a stronger role in the offense. Is that correct?
I've been a double way player all the time because at Yosemite High School, the youth league we didn't have no 40 players,
right.
40 players, 30 players.
Yeah.
So I was always on both sides of the ball, was playing back and forth. I never stepped off the football field unless it was halftime or unless I go to the bathroom or something. You know what I'm saying? I was never stepping off. I was never getting off that gridiron.
Do you feel you took a step forward though in your skill and ability, athlete wise, this season?
Oh yeah, for sure. Well, coming to Madera, because at Yosemite we didn't have that like the strength program, again speed, my agility, everything. I've gotten faster. I've gotten smarter. Like my like reads. I know what to do now. Before I had the skill, but I didn't really know what to do, so I was slow. But now I'm just everything's faster. Everything because you have to be at this level. You have to be fast. You have to know what you're doing. You have to be moving fast, going 110%. So now, 100%. My speed's I've gotten faster. I'm still not the fastest, but I get out there. I be moving. I be juking.
I think the thing that makes you different, though, or compensate for that speed is the fact that I know you said you were only 175 pounds or whatnot, But that's a pretty strong weight for a running back at your level. I mean, yeah, if you were 200, 225, fast running back, yes, that would be better. But I was watching some of your tape that your mom, or the video that your mom was sharing on our family group, and I noticed you hit the line pretty freaking fast. And you usually it feels like you're usually blocking or running through a couple of different blockers,
Oh,
before you're taken down. And I mean, on that the last couple of videos that I saw, it looked like you were averaging 4 to 5 yards per carry. I mean, I don't know
maybe even more.
if that maybe even more, right? So it's interesting because I see the next step of evolution in your career as a running back. I mean, I don't know if that's something that you would pursue in the future, but kind of brings me to my next question in terms of goals. You're at the end of your high school career, or you're heading into the end of your high school career with the start of this season. Is there anything you feel that there is left for you to achieve as a high school football player before looking forward playing college ball?
There's always that one goal, baby.
Yeah.
I need that ring. I need that
Yeah.
ring. I'm not talking about no friggin' Division III playoff. I'm talking about state. I need that state ring.
Has it been done with your school before?
We never even won a championship.
It's interesting because I don't know. I feel like you can make it happen, but I'm interested in where you're at mentally with. I mean, I'm sure as an athlete, you're very invested in the moment. You want to make sure you're doing the best possible job for your team. But how much of your mentality has already started turning the page to college?
Oh, I've always been huge on college, but now with like even with my classes in school, I like before I wouldn't like I didn't think like my freshman and sophomore year, I didn't think colleges really looked at that much. So I wasn't really worried because that's what I was told. That's what I was told by my old teachers old teachers, but
yeah.
But now that I went to actually a camp where this coach told me that they do look at those. So I was like, with my senior year, I'm taking AP classes, dual enrollment. So I'm huge on college. I'm 100% college bound. I'm going. It don't even matter. If I get an offer, I'm there.
Has your school been receiving scouts, or does your district or receive scouts to come check you guys out?
I don't really know about scouts, but we've had coaches, like college coaches, come in, watch our workouts.
Oh, nice.
Watch our
Okay.
watch our I don't think we've had any watch our practices this year, but
maybe towards more.
Yeah. Well, after that game, Friday night, but I think we're gonna start getting a little more attention because we were sleepers. We were sleepers that game. We were supposed to this page called Page Meter, which is like all around. They just like predict a bunch of game scores for high school teams and stuff, and they actually predicted us losing that game 37-20.
Wow! So you had the upset.
We had the upset. We were the underdogs right there.
Yeah, it's got to feel good being the underdog, huh?
Feels amazing. I love being the underdog.
Hey, I don't know if you know who Deuce Vaughn is, but I'm a Dallas Cowboy fan, and he's our newest rookie running back. And dude, he's 5'5", I think 185, maybe less. I mean, you got all these. I feel like in the last couple of years, you've had a lot more players enter the NFL that are not your standard NFL, athletic builds, right? With Cole Beasley and all the other people, but yeah. So I'm curious. So you've had this pretty intense career, and you're about ready to take your steps into college, wherever that may be. But I'm interested in where or what your experience has been with your friends and your family in the context of you being an athlete. How has mom and dad been there for you during your football? I mean, some kids don't really get a lot of support. Has that been your experience?
Nah, my parents, my mom and dad, they've always supported me. I'm
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna be honest. I don't think they've ever missed a game. They've always been there. They've
Wow.
always been there.
Yeah.
But
Yeah. Yeah.
yeah, no, they've pushed me, always drove me to be the best. My mom
Uh-huh.
in the classroom, my dad in the muscles. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, you've got a very good pedigree of influence between
Oh
your
yeah,
mom and dad.
oh yeah.
Yeah, yeah. Um, how has it been for your friends? Because I think it's pretty trippy to go from now to go from a young age of playing the sport and seeing your friends develop physically into the athletes that they are now. Has that been a trip for you? I know you switched high schools, so I don't know how many of your previous teammates made that transfer with you, or if any of them did. How has it been with that experience, starting off from such a young age playing the sport with friends to now seeing them in a completely adult-like capacity?
Well, like even I tell my friends about like my dreams, and they're even
Mm-hmm.
like they even say it's a far fetched goal, and
Yeah,
but
yeah.
they've always been like, bro, you got that, bro. Because even my friends have always told me I'm crazy. I always got that. I always got that juice. You know what I'm saying? I always
Yeah,
bring that juice.
yeah, 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 yeah,
Because
yeah.
honestly, because in the NFL, you got to bring that juice. You got to be a leader, and
Mm-hmm.
I've always had
Mm-hmm.
that, so I'm ready. And
Yeah, yeah.
my friends they've always told me that, like, my boy Juju, he's actually the one
Mm-hmm.
that told me to I gotta be. He's like, you gotta go running back, man. He's like, if you ain't running back this year, I'm gonna be mad at you. I'm gonna have to beat you up. And I'm like, all right, man, all right.
Yeah,
I
yeah,
got in there.
yeah, yeah, yeah. Yeah, it's pretty cool. So I was watching a video that your mom sent, and it was at I think it was like a pep rally, and you were handed the microphone, and you had to say some words of inspiration. What was your mind like when they handed you that microphone? What was going through your through your brain?
I was on it. I didn't even know what to say, man. All I knew is I had to pump that crowd up. So I just got
Yeah,
up there and I pumped that crowd up.
yeah, you did.
But yeah, I'll
Yeah,
be
you
honest.
did.
I'll be honest. It was kind of stopped because our school thought we were gonna lose that game.
Yeah,
They
yeah,
say
yeah, yeah, yeah.
even our old kids at that school were like, I don't even know if I want to cheer for them right now. I think they're gonna lose.
Mm.
I was up there. I was up there. I was up there at the pep rally, and I'm like, I'm looking at all these kids, and they're looking at me like I'm like out of my mind.
Yeah, yeah.
But hey, I still got them juice. All I'm finna say.
You did. All right, last thing, and I'm going to leave you alone on your Sunday. For kids that are entering into their first season, and I know you said you were 5 when you started playing. What advice would you give to those new kids that are just entering? Is there anything that sticks out in your mind that you would say, "Hey, pay attention to this or do that or whatnot"? Is there any advice that you would give to new kids and also to maybe people that are coming into playing high school football the first time, maybe that don't have your experience? Two sets of advice: one for those young kids, and another piece of advice for maybe kids at your level, at a high school level.
Well, for the young kids, definitely hit them weights. Stay hitting them weights. Gotta get big. If you're bigger than your opponent, you're running through your opponent.
Mm-hmm,
No
mm-hmm.
matter what, no matter what height you are, if you're outlifting this dude, you're running through him. No matter if he's 6'3", like it's all that. And
Yeah.
always technique. When you're little, always just
Mm-hmm,
instantly work on your technique. Outside of the game, outside of practice, work on your technique. Even in your front yard, just do a little
mm-hmm.
footwork. It's always something. And then
Yeah.
for older people, I would say listen to your coaches for sure. Because at high school level, you got coaches that know what they're doing, and then also
Yeah.
listen to kids that are good. They know what they're doing. They've played this game since they're 5, working on their technique, like I've been saying.
Right.
And then
Right.
just listen. Yeah, just listen to them because they're just they know what they're doing, and if you can learn off them, and you can also learn off yourself and add to them, and then you could be better. It's just.
Have you found yourself in that situation having to give that advice to new football players that haven't been playing this game since as long as you've been playing?
Oh yeah, I've always been helping my teammates out. Like if I see my teammates doing something wrong, I'll be like, hey, just do this, and then you'll get through them like that, and I'll see them do it, and it works. And
yeah.
So I be making some people better. I'm like, whoa, I'm getting a little scared.
You're gonna get some 411 from Zach Prince. All right, man. I'm gonna leave you alone. I'm gonna say thank you again so much for being on the podcast on such a short notice. I'm very, as an uncle, proud of everything that you've accomplished. You have a dedication and a discipline that many people, not only in this family, but in families all across the world, don't have. You got it. Keep going. Keep pushing. You inspire me. I'm a 35-year-old man, and I say, shit, this guy's doing all this. I need to get myself together, right? You know? Yeah. So, I mean, if you can inspire people of different generations, I think you're doing the right thing, and you're on the right track. So I say thank you. And, yeah, man, get that championship. Go to state. Do what you got to do. Keep pepping up those people at the pep rallies, huh?
Gotta keep the juice. Gotta bring the juice.
Yeah. All right. I'm going to end the recording now, and I love you, and
love you too, man.
Get after it. Stay hungry, man.
All right. Have fun in Washington.
All right. Always. Hey, thank you so much for tuning into today's episode. If you haven't already, please subscribe to the podcast or, leave a rating or review. The decision is up to you. Until the next time, ciao.